Some people value money. Some people value relationships. It's not to say that the person who values relationships doesn't care about money or vice versa. Some people have one on the top and one on the bottom. They're both there, but one is what drives them. It's the engine. The recipe for disaster is someone who comes in business who's money driven before relationships and caring about people. All right, we are back. I know we took a break for a couple weeks, 2 weeks. It wasn't on purpose. We knew it was going to happen, but we forgot to tell everybody. I got lots of messages of people saying, hey, where's the episode? Did I miss the episode? Is it not on YouTube anymore? Where could I find it? And but we went to Europe for the Odyssey trip. We were gone for a couple weeks. We went to Norway, Sweden, and Paris. We had a blast. But now we are back. And we're back with a topic that I don't think I've covered before in this regard in any season. And we're going to talk about how to find the right business partner, how to find the right recruit. Okay, if you're working in my industry in finance and you're building an agency. And I got a quote here I wrote down from John Maxwell, who's one of my favorite. He says, the right people don't just change your results, they change your whole life. In business through the years, we're 13 years into business now. We've recruited a lot of people, a lot of talented people, a lot of people who I believe are more talented than me. I'm very grateful that I have some of those people in business with me. I've also recruited several of the wrong people that if I could look back, I would have rather had not had them in business. Whether it's because they just caused a lot of drama, they just didn't fit in the culture. They were money hungry. All they thought about was themselves. You know, there's a lesson to be learned in the fact that you don't want everyone in business with you. That's just the bottom line. I've come to find that I don't want everybody in business with me. I'm looking for a certain type of person who I have found success with over the years. And we'll talk about a little bit what that person looks like. But I think there is a truth to be said about less being more. Even in a volume game and even in a volume business, less is still more. I would rather have less of the right people than more of the wrong people. So today we're going to talk about why character and integrity and alignment and compatibility are more important than skill set and hunger and maybe drive, because we've never looked at it from that angle. We've never looked at it from this side of recruiting before. In the past, we've talked about skill set. We've talked about how to find recruits. We've talked about things like that. But I want to spend some time today from a higher level talking about why character and compatibility and vision alignment, where we're all on the same page, why that's more important than maybe career success up until this point or prior success for someone who's starting in business with us. So let's talk about character integrity and why that's important. And I wrote some notes down because I want to make sure I cover everything that was in my head when thinking about this topic. I said integrity is the foundation. So why is that? I would rather take integrity and a good person over experience and skill set all day. I believe that character is more powerful than production. Integrity is more powerful than production. Us having the same alignment in our vision is more powerful than your skill set. Why? There's a huge impact on the dynamic energy of your team every time you bring someone into business with you. One of the things that I could say for my company now in Tenacity that I'm so proud of is the quality of people we have in business. But we've had times in our career, I don't think we have any. I can't think of any right now, any people who I'm like, gosh, I'm just waiting to get rid of them. Like, we got to get rid of them. There's been plenty. I've gotten rid of plenty. Right now, I can't name one that's popping in my head, which is something I'm really proud of and something I'm excited about. Because every time you bring someone into your company, if your company is built like mine is, Tenacity is a culture. So when someone starts with us, we don't just onboard them, we enroll them. And integrity and character is so much more powerful than production and skill set, because I could teach skill set. I could teach production. I could teach that stuff. You can't really teach integrity and character. Adults have it or they don't. Are they a good fit? Are they a good fit for your team culture, for your company? Like, that's a big deal. To me, that's more important than production. Earlier in my career, I was just like, anybody who would say yes. Anybody who would say yes. You got money to get your license? Come on in, right? I didn't put any focus on it, on character, integrity, skill set. What are they motivated by? Are they here just to make money? Like, it didn't cross my mind because I was at a place where I needed to make money and all I was thinking about was people saying yes. I do think there's probably a time for that mentality in your business. But if you're in that place in your business right now, I'm here to tell you right now, this is way more important. Way more important to the longevity, way more important to the energy to your team, way more important to the culture and the environment. That this is so important. Zig Ziglar said this. He said, you don't build a business, you build people, and then the people build the business. So why is character and integrity when you're recruiting and you're hiring and you're onboarding or you're looking for a business partner to partner with? Why is this so important? More important than skill? Because people build the business. People build the business. And people, the backbone of us as individuals, is our character and our integrity. So this is huge. It's huge. I would rather you say no than say yes, come in business, and just be dirty in the way you do things. And now I just have this headache and this liability that I got to mess with and I got to think about constantly. Let's talk about vision alignment, because I mentioned vision alignment. What is vision alignment? I wrote this down. Vision alignment means finding agents. This is me talking about for myself in my industry. Finding agents who share the same goals and values and visions as my team does. Whether that's helping families achieve financial independence or growing a team culture. That's vision alignment. I look for vision alignment when I'm looking to work with somebody in business now. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, does this person share the same goals and values that I share, that my top people share, that our culture shares, that we talk about? See, one thing about a culture is everyone pretty much agrees on some core values. When someone's starting in business with me, this is something I'm always paying attention to. Like, what's this person motivated by? For example, I got this guy, Dave, who I'm working with right now. And Dave and his wife, Melissa, and his daughter, Ash, and Cam. There's a beautiful family, good people. Dude, I love these people. I love them. They got the same values as us, the same culture, the same like belief, the same, they're faith driven. They want to win, but they want to help people. They only want to win if they're winning right. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for constantly. And vision alignment, you guys, is huge. It's hard to change someone's vision. You could, it happens, but it's hard to change it. Now, I wrote down, what's the consequence of working with someone who doesn't have the same vision to you? Well, let me give you an example of someone not having the same vision of me. Someone who all they're thinking about when they're sitting with clients is personal gain. All they're thinking about is getting paid. All they're thinking about is how much money can I make? One time, I had this guy who we were training. He sat on an appointment. The appointment was with his mom. He ran the appointment as part of his training. A trainer was there. And his mom was the client. His mom walks out to go to the restroom. And this agent, I still remember his name, but I won't say it. He turns to my trainer and goes, so how much money am I going to make on this? And the trainer goes, oh, you're going to make this much. And he goes, okay, how do we make that bigger? How do we make it bigger? The guy was trying to just make as much money as he could off his own mom. He didn't care. Guess what? That's not the kind of person I want in business with me. That's not the kind of person. I want someone who cares about where we're going as a company from a place of integrity. Okay, I wrote down, recruits that are only focused on personal gain or individual achievement ruin the long-term goals of our entire team. Now, how can you apply that to your business? Think for a second. Do you have anyone in your business right now that you know is outside of being aligned with not just your leadership? I'm not talking from a place of ego. I'm talking from a place of values, a place of character, a place of integrity, a place of just a moral compass of how you operate as a company. Do you have anybody on your team right now that's unaligned? It's a big deal. Vision shapes your culture, you guys. Vision shapes your culture. I believe when everyone has the same impact driven mentality, when everybody has the same goal and the same vision for a company, it's huge. It's huge. That's the culture. The culture is everything. For us, for Tenacity, culture is everything. What's your culture like in your business right now? Think about it. What's your culture? What's the energy like in your company? What's the focus? What's everyone after? What's everyone chasing? I'm so proud that inside of our team is hungry and competitive and like one big mafia, one big mob, but they all have integrity and character, and they don't want to win. Just like I mentioned with Dave and Melissa, they don't want to win unless they're winning correctly and unless they're winning right and they're doing things with character. And it's something that's important to me. But it didn't start that way necessarily. We didn't have culture defined in the beginning. And that's part of why you might be recruiting the wrong people or partnering in business with the wrong people. I have a lady who I've done some consulting with, totally outside of our industry. I'm helping them with some branding and marketing and social media and doing some consulting on a business strategy. And they've gone from company to company to company to company to try to get an app created. And finally I told them, I said, hey, maybe we're looking at the wrong thing. Maybe we're looking at, can this get done versus like, who are the quality of the people we're partnering with? We got to partner with people that share the same vision, that want to do things right, that have a good reputation and good character. Now, let's talk about, I wrote down, what are the potential failures if you're prioritizing the wrong thing when you're recruiting? So let me give you a recipe for disaster, okay? You meet this person, you're like, oh my God, they're great. They have so much experience in sales or whatever. Okay. High production, low character. Okay. I want you to write that down. I want you to think about that. High production, low integrity. High production, low moral compass. What is that? That is a recipe for freaking disaster. Someone who comes in and they're just a workhorse, and they're writing clients all over the place, making a ton of money, and they lack in character, they lack in integrity, they lack in moral compass and empathy and the ability to do things right. Those things aren't their priority. Some people value money, some people value relationships. It's not to say that the person who values relationships doesn't care about money, or vice versa. I'm just saying, some people have one on the top and one on the bottom. They're both there, but one is what drives them. It's the engine. The recipe for disaster is someone who comes in business who's money driven before relationships and caring about people. To me, that's not how I operate. I'm relationships first. I believe relationships are the number one commodity. It's the most important thing. I could always make more money. Do I want to make money? Yes. But do I want to make money at the risk of burning bridges, ruining my credibility, ruining my relationships, ruining my reputation? And people could say, hey, it's just business. I agree, it is business. But again, some people value relationships, some people value money. The recipe for disaster, by the way, neither one is wrong, neither one is right. I'm just saying some people value one more than the other. But a recipe for disaster is someone who's high production numbers with no integrity. What does that lead to? Compliance risk, legal problems, bad reputations, ruining team culture, team energy, your team name. Okay, these are things that I don't necessarily want. Now, short-term gains, long-term pain. Okay, I saw that on a meme, and I wrote it down the other day because I liked it. Short-term gains, long-term pain. What does that mean? Short-term gains, I'm just chasing commission. I'm trying to make as much money as I can. I'm trying to win a contest. I'm trying to get to the next thing. I'm trying to get my next piece of recognition. Short-term game, right? Short-term game. That means as a company, we're winning. We got someone putting up numbers. Woo! Tons of momentum. Long-term pain. Okay, what does that mean? All the fallout. Should have got me a water before I started. All the fallout that comes from that agent doing things without integrity, all the fallout that comes from that person maybe lacking in character, what ends up happening long term? Dude, you have to deal with that crap long past the money. When all the clients charge back in our industry, or you start getting complaints about your business on Yelp, when all that stuff goes south, guess what? Long-term pain. So much crap you have to deal with. I don't want to have to deal with all that crap. I would rather have someone who long-term does things right. I would rather you move a little bit slower in the beginning, but you're doing things right, because good people are going to find their way to the top. They're going to land on top. Good people will land on top. John Maxwell quote, "The strength of an organization is built on character, not competence." Character, not competence. Competence means like your ability, your skill set, your ability to get things done, right? Being a professional, being good at what you do. That's competence. He says the strength of an organization is not built on that. It's built on character. I got me a water. Sweet. Thank you. There's so much danger and liability, you guys, that comes, and you just make your life a freaking living hell when you're chasing results without doing things correctly. Character, okay? It's a big deal. So let's talk about a couple of things that I look for when I'm recruiting. Here's the deal. Shared values, integrity, coachability, work ethic, team vision, alignment, all that stuff. That's what I look for. But how do you find that? So here's the first thing I would tell you. Grab a pen and paper, no matter how deep you are into your company. You're brand new, you don't even have anything going on yet, or you're 10, 15 years into your career. I'll tell you what I did. I grabbed a pen and paper one day when I got tired of dealing with this crap. And I turned to Ronnie and I said, all right, what are we looking for? What do we want in business? What do we want our company to be? What is tenacity all about? What are our values? What are our standards? What are our expectations? What are the things that mean the most to us? What are the things that we're passionate about? What are the things we believe in? What are the things that we believe about ourselves, about what we do for people, about where we're going? This is the stuff that we start writing down. We start putting it all on paper. You want to know why? Because how are you going to recruit with a shared vision if you don't even know what your company's vision is? So we start writing down what means the most to us, what's important to us, what do we want our company to be about, what defines and describes tenacity. We put it all on paper. Then we start scratching things that overlap. We condense it. And then we've got a sheet of our values and our standards and our expectations and our principles and the things that describe us as a company. Tenacity as a company. And now every time I'm running a recruiting interview, that's the last thing I sit down and I show them. I go, hey, look, the money's great, the license is great, the career is great, the fun's great, the recognition's great, all of it's great. But I want you to know who you're working with and what you're a part of. This is us as a company on paper. Now, what happens when you don't have that? Then you're just recruiting with going nowhere. How do you know if someone aligns with that stuff if you don't even know what that stuff is for you? So I know what that stuff is. We sit down. Those are our non-negotiables, the things that we value the most. Now, how do you find out whether someone fits that? Well, number one, you can see when you're talking to them about it, whether or not they appreciate it. If they're just like, yeah, that's cool, whatever. Show me the money. Well, then I'm getting an idea real quick. But if the person I'm sitting with goes, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I want to be a part of something like this. Then I know that could be someone I'm looking for. Then I start asking questions. Hey, what motivates you? What motivates you beyond making money? What's important to you? What's your vision for working in our industry? What do you want to be able to do long time? How do you handle situations where you get frustrated, where your integrity gets questioned? What do you do when your back's up against the wall? What do you do when you're frustrated and you're scared and you're worried about money? Tell me about some of the things you've been through that suck. How'd you handle that? Where's mental toughness come from? How did you build mental toughness? How do you respond to rejection? How do you respond to failure? What do you look for in a company? What's important to you? What's the last book you read? Dude, I literally ask these questions on recruiting appointments, on interviews. Why? I want to know who I'm working with. I want to know the kind of person that I'm working with. And when you start asking this stuff and you start getting to know people as people, not as dollar signs, when you start getting to know people as people, guess what? Your retention in your team, in your company goes up. Your turnover goes down. The production and productivity of people goes up because they're in a place where they feel good, where they feel confident, where they believe in what they're doing. People work 10 times better when they believe in what they're doing, when they're chasing a cause, when they're fixing a problem in the community, when they're righting a wrong. Like when people are out to do something they believe in, the money will come automatically because they do it with more confidence. Now, whole point of the entire episode today is, are you just recruiting, or are you enrolling and looking for people who could be long-term, lifelong business partners and people that you do life with? The reason I love Tenacity and the reason I'm so proud of what we've built as a team is because these are people we do life with. These aren't just people we write apps with. These aren't just people we service clients with. These are people that we do everything with. These are people we would look forward to seeing all across the country, in Canada now as well. And they're people that are good people. And when I go to bed at night, I go to bed at night proud, not of how much money we make, not of any of that stuff. More than anything, it's I go to bed at night proud because I have a clear conscience and I feel good about our company. I feel good about what we do for people, the way we do business in the community. Those are things that are important to us. But those are things that can only happen if, when you're looking for talent and you're recruiting, you're putting character and vision alignment and values before production and prior success and skill set. And I think if you do that, it'll make your career a lot easier long term. All right, guys, we are done. I apologize again for the break and the lack of communication. It just kind of happened real quick, and before you knew it, time was flying. Thank you for all your support. Now, a couple things if you don't know. First off, we appreciate every share, every like, every thumbs up, every thumbs down. We value it all. Okay. But I did recently start a broadcast channel on Instagram called The Goat Sledge, focused 100% on social media growth, branding, PR, marketing, all that stuff in order to help you take your business to the next level. I probably put more thought into the content that goes in that group than the content that goes anywhere else. And so if you haven't already seen it, go to my Instagram. You could click it. It's right on the front homepage under my bio. I appreciate all your support and look forward to seeing you guys soon. We're out.